The boat comes to a slow stop. In the silence, a sputter of wing.
Let's go.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
Ah, yes, so it seems. For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the...
As a defensive measure, locking off that side of the bay.
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds wing. The flock of quail departs. Now more than on the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through, like a silent orchestra tuning. At the beginning of a silent hiss, sea air move, the faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand. The low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers. A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, Through its ancient slits, air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a jitter, a sound impatient to happen. But no, you hear some kind of limb fidget, producing an imperceptible tick. No, it's just your imagination.
Yes? It is. Is that why we are stopping?
The lieutenant nods in silence. ICM. This feels familiar somehow.
Insulindian Citizens Militia. It
Sounds an awful lot.
It does. The RCM may descend. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us.
Nice, political. It's going to be hard to say them. Carrying around all that weight on a busted crutch is making you pant.
This is better preserved than the others. You can still read the sign. No.
With its horns in the sky, the symbol of the commune.
No, that's the...
A DeLorean-era symbol of Insulinda, known as...
After 44 years? That's not nearly. One of these barrels was still leaking.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft cover books.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through...
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close until... You feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world sleeps. Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism. Off to advise the Queen of Shest, most likely. This is the Holy Suzerain of Mwindi and Insulinda. Definitely not your... I don't know, man. What is the Holy Suzerain doing here?
Hey. I mean, hey to you too. I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. God, Harry, you have to take care of yourself.
Desperation is gearing.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She means she doesn't have... She sighs and looks over her shoulder.
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown. Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rare...
She...
Anyway. No, Harry. No. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us any. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to...
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
It's not, but... I can't answer your... I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day. The morning? I don't understand. Oh my God, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear any... I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. Yes, Harry, I am. Things have gotten...
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do, Harry.
She looks at the headless found rider. But the figurines don't do anything? Anything at all? Yes, I thought it would be good.
Harry, I don't want things. I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked the headless fallen rider back then. We both said a lot of things.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of...
You need to recite it to her. Yeah. Put a stake through. She won't get hurt. She'll bend out of the way.
Please, Harry. I just don't have time for this. Okay, stop. Yes. Are you happy now? Then why are you doing this? Very well. I wrote it. It was morning. It was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs. Her breast.
And my crown of immortality. No. You scared her out of me. With your crying, your... Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again.
You're a better man now. With a rank. in a powerful armed organization.
No, it's too late. I found someone for whom I feel the same love I did.
Your heart burns through the...
Harry, do you notice how none of this is very funny? I hate being that. I don't want to be anything for you. I hope the decades it takes for you to get over me have... It's here, Harry. We are on Voyager Road. At the end of it, 300 meters from the... There. You could not pay the electrical bill. 42. That is the light rail that took me to Coron. Just no human being should still... Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already...
Don't let her. Don't let her go there. You should redo the topics. Go over everything. The things you didn't say before, too. Make it go on and on. With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, you stand against her. She is not kissing you back. This was not about failure or success. This was always going to be her chest rising like a pillow. Warm exhalations, feels like soft fuzz. The world's most the delicate wreath on her forehead pressing into your temple. The silver is cold from the spring evening. Her hand does not return. Distrust. Nothing, just pillows against you. Unresponsive, but for the taste of the moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. Trying hard not to look at you when she withdrew, and, brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
No, Harry. Not yet. I'm pregnant. You know what this means. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions.
No, this has to end. Do the last one.
That is very contested by modern historians. You're only saying this because things didn't work out between us. I have to go to the aerodrome now. I don't have time to I'm not that either. I am actually very ordinary, Harry. Below this thing you've made me into. I'm sorry for saying so, but I just hate it. What is this? My lungs do not glow, Harry. I am just like all the others. None of us have glowing lungs. Stop making me into some kind of... It is. And it's making me late for my beautiful, beautiful flight to Morova. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already met...
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going now. But yes, I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova, right here, tomorrow night. I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? Are you sure you're okay? You thrashed around and you bolted up half. Of course, I was just thinking maybe you've torn. I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream? Of course. You ready? Okay.
He's still worried. Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique, popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists, T&T Harp, among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine cathodique for electrical.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories, animal adventures. Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Elysium. It's not exactly like reading.
Elysium. I agree. Humanitarian sciences.
You're incendiary. Wasn't there some in the communist students' room?
Well, yes. That one student.
The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous.
Whoever has lived here, they have some education.
Interesting. An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift with makeshift electrical wire. The lieutenant puts his hand on.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank. As you there's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like.
That should do it. Downstairs, somewhere?
The tank is far from full. Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel. The keys rattle like teeth.
The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. Determine it. I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
After you. I don't know. Don't worry. I have a gun. I know. It was not...
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into... Perhaps there's someone there, where it is all smelling, maybe. Yes, cold and still. But love is... Yes, 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 yes. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of islets and posts, like stepping... dim
It's on.
automatic boot. The lighting in the room turns on with the dial slides under the glass. Dark. An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frames, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. Unclouded by cataract, he's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago.
The what now? I can't hear you. I may have.
The position.
Fire guy. My eyesight? I did. And you opened it. How? Reactionary rock and roll music.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a 3-act.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too.
A Samaran rifle.
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Signal.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
You heard me. It's good now, like chalk.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a...
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog. Yes, I bet you've killed her. Have you come to make me one of them?
We have come to ask you questions. Nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you...
The lieutenant pulls his pistol.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service run.
There does not seem to be a magazine in the well. The rifle's side is clearly visible. The lieutenant aims his pistol square.
Put it down.
Or you're gonna blow. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated, he stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song. The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprising. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangle.
Worn. Personalized even. Looks like this...
No response from the old man. The plastic cape around his shoulders rustles.
Jacketed. Military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight.
As he speaks, he stresses every word. The old man keeps following your motion. With this looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Real music. Real Proletkult.
Marchins, forget about that for a moment. You need to address that remark first.
You don't understand. My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner
The commune of Ravachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your...
from the Insular Indian Citizens Militia. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune...
51 minus 8 equals 43.
No. I've been on other islands. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were a second is all it took for reaction to take hold. May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition, the combined might of international capital, all huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but a
terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance airships. I climbed out into hell. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, and then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. That the bourgeois are not human. I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. Coalition military called it Operation Death Blow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million. Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people death blow? Iblis. The black-eyed ain't.
Shaitan Ahura.
How does anyone survive? I steal supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog.
How is your health?
I've been throwing up blood since we...
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 60.
The RCM can provide medical services.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others feel I don't even know what. Inferno? At least you know it. The traders of this city turned the lights back on in the 30s. After the fighting, it's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching.
They were posted.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells at night. I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I don't want to. They're all traitors.
He does not want to.
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right? I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Hammers.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots.
The propaganda bunker.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No.
The old man looks across the water at the city, the ruins.
You're with the RCM. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International. The enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversaries. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is... No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the train. In historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean...
The old man does not answer. He tilts.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control.
Scientific communism!
Awakened from shutdown by the promise, he nods slowly. Then another tremor.
43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human...
What have you been doing during...
Hiding, fishing, always waiting. For her.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. I am not a fool. The historic opportunity for our revolution had. There's nothing serious in this world. I've used it for killing.
Killing people.
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moral... I've used it.
Interesting. During or...
There is no after the war.
So is continued killing after. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt. This is what you live. The great serotonin. The solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. No. Be careful now. Slow. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
Oh, yes. That one.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The scent of blood in the air. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else.
Not a lot of guns around that use military.
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these
Damn, he saw you. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting.
You didn't handle anything. I watched it happen. You let those murderers rip right in. None of those people mean anything to you.
You're getting diverted. Pushed.
So you watch the
You don't know.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this, when you have the murder weapon.
Murder.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. Nowhere else. Nowhere in all... Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's... You got it. Remember? Nothing else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you. Try to... I'm sorry. This didn't do anything.
Officer, a word?
Almost where?
No, come on. I think we may have this. From nothing to this in a day. This is good, Lieutenant Gefreiter. We just need a confession first, and then maybe a solid motive later. Yes, good going. That should be our first ballistics. Let him cook here for a minute or two. We can have another look around the island for a sniper's nest. Good. We are doing very good. He wants to confess, I can see.
You hear that? He thinks you're...
Remember.
There is palpable excitement in his tone. He thinks the deserter has more than just this case in him. 44 years here.
Oh, yes. And
there's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Morteri.
Yes, this guy gets around.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, quite old and grimy from years without cleaning. The springs screech as you lift. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. The red chimney and collapsed back of the four-story tenement in front of the whirling. The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light.
What does that mean? Do you have
More than that,
a pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be
cheek against a cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper.
Affirmative.
In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many, many leads pointed elsewhere. Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands.
The lieutenant put...
We will make up for it.
There's a rain-soaked...
Be triple prime.
Minions of capital. What do you want? I ain't. Minions of capital. What do you want? Minions of capital. What do you want? Petty bourgeois law.
A drop of... That's right. Pile it all on him now.
Damn Maybells. The whole lot.
He seems tender suddenly.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. Class year. With the victim.
There is a small tremble.
Everything is brands with you individualists.
Show me the souls, please.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is sensory. These are not the unusual horizontal patterns, so...
The size fits, but not the soul.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains, are you?
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hand. Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One...
The lieutenant raises his right arm, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white. And so...
Mr. Dross, are you aware you confessed?
Yes.
And you were looking at them? The victim and a young woman having sex? through the scope of your right.
The old man.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle?
A rifle scope.
And if you don't like it?
click.
Yes.
He will not stop now. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this.
Them. Fucking. I didn't like jealousy. Is a reactionary concept. I didn't like them, and I wanted to see his head explode. That too. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains. Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark.
Past the Fell building on a ghost?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. Her passport and tickets to Brienne.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
Yes, after she'd gone.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks. And a body, hard and lean and bruised all up. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachol's the cloaca of...
You could tell she was a spook?
She had different color hair on the photo. And glasses.
He's setting it up. The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
It quickly comes to you.
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip point knife.
Good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snort.
Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinez. Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when there was...
Those two, you hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you.
How did you get in there? The hidden pin.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an anti...
You had to open the steel door in the...
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left...
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union.
There's...
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly.
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. Yes, over the years. It's not unprolonged. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore. Maybe, I told you, I have holes. If you came 10 years ago,
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his...
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days. Good for her. That girl kept staring into the scope at night, crying or smoking on the roof, like she knew I...
He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring,
We could get more. We've got him talking.
who knows what he's seen. Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this.
A tragic comedy.
A strange little engine seems to... The familiar put, put, put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Because of the racists. A pump full of steroids and... Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III. Not since the serfs of ancient... Intense, like animals. Like those. The worst of them is the worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform. Every morning he's there. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the... We did good when we pushed him under that horse car.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth investigating.
Whores. Syphilis is a disease. Philippe III contract... Another hideous disappointment.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity.
That deformed toad? I wouldn't
Edgar.
He talks a big game. First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
I haven't approached anyone. I hid.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He stepped right off the boat and walked down. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago. Neither of them.
That's around the time.
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Never trust a social... Let me be here. The Zeddo...
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But
You know why I killed that fucker, Dwat?
Again? What have you done?
Try teaching him some Marzovians.
okay, he didn't do the hanged man for... There is more here. You can feel it. He was not outright lying, but almost. The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water. He acknowledges it. Here we go.
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he... And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker. She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away.
No, that's not...
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her.
No, I guess it was not. She couldn't make the call
Here it is.
because she was dead.
Just say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. She was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around. Someone. Or maybe the cow just fell. Nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hedge.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal.
The same old freezing hatred.
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, I remember him. I remember him from La Noce. Not him, that one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Not yet. I like to look at him strut around.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. No. I waited too long. I waited too long.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you need...
They're all dead now.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands.
And I blew them all. All human beings care about each other. Fuck you. You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do.
It doesn't look like he is. Okay.
Glad we talked about what?
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid.
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too. His lip curls into a sneer.
Glad we talked about what? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrolled.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against... Do you and...
But... No, I don't want to.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Maybe we could all fit in there. Actually, no. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take...
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
You come back for me? How about I go and send...
What is this farce?
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This...
No, listen. Listen now.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
This world. What are you talking about?
The wind is cold. Your skin is crawling suddenly. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just...
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively. You feel the lieutenant's hand on your back, and
I can see it.
if he can see it too, then you're not. But that would mean it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect...
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through.
I won't be one of those fools who didn't take a pic.
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out.
I don't think the pheromone will do anything.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slowly. Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small steps toward, like laughter. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs.
Maybe it is real. The pharaoh.
About now, the insect's head is crowned with reed-like scab, breathing you in. You're sour, greasy. The insect stops its stridulation. Suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent, praying to you. The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. No reply. A total, you were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature. On it, the faintest smell, like you've never felt.
Careful. It may be poison.
The foams letting out that same smell, like summer bird.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion.
In 3. If it moves.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword.
I got it.
The antennae hang from a great height. It is surprisingly delicate.
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
Feels like nothing. The anthropod in front of you stays frozen. The limb before you is incredibly light. Warning! A small shudder passes the creature's arm. There is some kind of countdown happening as it slowly processes hair within the smooth white inner part of its limb.
The nervous system could be spread out.
Or a rhyocinta. Another shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life.
I exist. Tell me what it's like for you. Then I will tell you what it's like for me. Fire? Where? That is your problem. Nothing ever ends for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images.
So what if the next picture doesn't come? This creature is not the...
Shapes of plants and animals. And internals. And I am at the end of a narrow funnel. Weightless. So light. It only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I don't know. You're just a... Are you sure? Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna. The leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk. Yes, thankfully so am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. Is in a bad state, deteriorate very slowly, and only... No, you're awake. I am real. Not even the birds know that. Not even a water lily. You can also eat it, if easily.
Wait, so
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmadia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 300, no one unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. Also, I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government. No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am the Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not. You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cold. We suspect it would be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic.
instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if he misplaces us all one day, or just forget? So it is already happening. Soon. What?
It doesn't look like that, no. No. What's going on? Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think you should back away from the unstudied species now.
No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you before you go. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Forever show. You cannot lie to me. Behind you, it smells of fires. So awfully. She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3 meters dig insect.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface. And just like that, it's gone. Skating and something under it. In the place
It's gone. Apparently, yes. Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
What now?
in some kind of
Our suspect is not looking so good.
What is it? What do you want?
Something is very wrong with him now.
See.
Mr. Doras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. The plastic cape feels coarse. A light,
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility.
the trembling mouth.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid. Old age and shock. The appearance of the fat...
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Nothing.
If Kuno kicked it,
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the
he lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. This side,
silence. You've gotten all you will out of this poor. The plastic cape flaps. The blacks of his eyes are receding.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help.
The old man stared. The skiff is swaying on the waves.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get hit. But for the sound of conversation on the water, you reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Look what the tide brought in. Harry, you're bleeding all over the place.
Whatever this is, it is complete. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags.
But that's right. And you're bleeding. We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you. Bothered by it. Harry. Oh, fuck it.
Hello, I'm Trent Heilerstein.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Comar. And this is your special task force. Special Consultant Trent
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just...
The scene is making even him feel
We might need your help with something later.
as if he recalled that he's in.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know.
Ari, we want to help you. Trent,
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage you. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now.
What does he have to... Shit, kid. What an interesting moniker.
You. Shit kid.
Despite all that you've done, the deserter, the phasmid, the case. Good idea.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
and people on the street.
You're a legend among the drunks, Harry. Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
I'm clinically depressed, Harry. Sorry if I wasn't in the mood to batter you up after you told us to fuck off. Did you? Or did you literally not recognize my face? We've been partners for how long?
Absolutely no idea. 100 years?
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. Okay, you're my commanding officer.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest...
Yes, I'm Trent Heilerstein. I never said I wasn't Trent Heilerstein. Again, I was asked to share my take on...
He's here to see if you're insane. He is smart. Let's move on. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't be duped so easily.
Yes, I'm still Kim Kisuragi, still a lieutenant from Precinct 57.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells? He doesn't remember.
See? He really doesn't remember.
Yeah, that's very good. God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style, your detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
It wasn't like...
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we? You were crying hysterically. You were drunk. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So if the bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat,
Meaning, you forgot both who you are.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who...
Interesting.
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Son of fucking Long here. Detective Far Out Son of Long on the case.
He has indeed had the possibility before. I have trouble believing him, of course.
With all due respect, Lieutenant, you're bewitched by the shit, kid. It happens. In fact, it's not possible to wipe one's memory at all, even with the amount of pot and Pilsner he downs every hour.
Detective Vigmer. I'm not saying he's the son of Lung, but lying? Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders.
So you don't remember, not.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if... Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the hardwired to the free market. We just need...
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will...
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
No, Harry. Fuck you. You already fucked us. I've already explained this shit to Bryce too. Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand. Yeah. Just no. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Ha. Ho ho ho. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
He squints at it, trying to ascertain if it's not a blue candy wrapper.
Okay. And your gun?
What is it with all these material objects?
He has it. I thought it was in the ocean. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. A little drink? You let a suspect escape, Harry. Glacier something. Because you were too drunk to ask.
We've read the reports. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Oh well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into all the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's compared to the 6 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. He did so at considerable risk to his person. Remember, he was shot. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Don't make this harder for yourself.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You've spent the week with him. On this... On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his bat.
The man sighed.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize, profuse. It's worrying, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea. And the drugs. He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke.
Yeah.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case. And he solved it. We have he apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50.
A new species.
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to... You hear gasps beneath that.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow...
The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it...
I must say, this is...
Yes. It really does make it hard to fire the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen... Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
Lilianovich, a revolutionary matronym. The custom started. This man.
So,
Thank you, Trant.
Of course, excuse me. I just thought it was noteworthy.
Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was...
A strange psychosexual fascination. Also, we have...
it's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Masterpiece. Get over you.
God damn it. It is bad. Even you can smell it.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martin...
And eyes, too.
Understood.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
Actually, you didn't. I told them a police raid will sweep the church in 2 days. Which, by the way, it will. If they have any brains, they won't be produced when you were out. Yes.
What?
No.
He's really softening it up.
You had... Incredible. Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it
Bowers are built by males of the species.
must be robust if it can move a helmet, as in cloning itself. Well,
That...
very interesting. Like I said,
No. I wouldn't say it was...
at that size, this creature,
Yes.
incredible.
This?
Absolutely.
Without it.
You're doing quit while you're ahead? Or no?
How? It seems to be...
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated it.
What? Hand clear the terminal. Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your... It doesn't matter how I know about Al Ghul. What is that why you want us to invest?
No, it's nothing like that.
God.
Silence. Good.
Yes, yes. Fallen through a gap in a boat.
The body was transported to Precinct 41.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry.
Still.
It's still a point for you.
I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Why?
There was a...
Of course.
Dodged the bullet there. For a moment it seemed...
Who's Kuno?
You don't...
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species. And so...
Honestly, anything that ends...
Agreed. The public relations potential of this.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
The man looks west, jingling his car keys.
Who are you? Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher.
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. Some of your more... old school...
Also, this guy. God, even this javelin-throwing freak here.
In your 20s or late 20s. Yes, you taught gym in Coron.
The smell of Kuro is...
High school.
His smirk suggests
The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight.
You.
I knew it. I knew.
It's not a mystery. Some chick.
You really.
Dora something. Dora.
Not Dora Dubois.
Something like that.
Vasa is where beautiful.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol. God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way. Yeah. Or 7. Incredibly bangable. She was incredibly fuckable.
Snow, pain.
I've only seen.
Look, the sun is going down.
I think my point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
No.
Talks concluded.
Us? With the bloody murder station.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. It's not good. Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. Then
They are damn iconic though.
Yeah. No. God. There are 4 with.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
Ptolemy Price? He's the son.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force.
So he remembers that. Yes.
Shooting up churches never.
Our enemies were hiding in H.
He means it. The RCF, your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot.
Okay. It's not.
Jamrock.
The press will be.
Thank you again, Lieutenant. Who is Lena?
She lives at 1113.
Tabernacle? It's on the...
Fine. If we're gonna drop your...
She and her husband work on the... They should know as soon as possible. It would do you... Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to... I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, talk to Captain Price. I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. Work with Price? I'm flat.
This truly came as a surprise to him.
Flattered?
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is...
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back.
I do like the sound of that.
He's really considering it.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage.
Under the evening sky, the great district turns on its lights. A chessboard of wooden. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?